The Trump phone versus the iPhone 17. One of these is a real flagship phone. The other is, well, honestly, who knows? So what are you actually getting and what are you not getting? First, Trump isn't just a phone, it's also a mobile service provider, except it kind of isn't. And the Trump phone isn't a new phone. We'll explain that all. There's a lot to unpack. Let's start with Trump Mobile. Here's what the plan actually says. Unlimited talk, sort of. Text and data. Free SIM card, free shipping, no contract, and you can bring your own phone. You even get international calls to 100 countries with absolutely no credit check. All of this and, well, that's it. There's nothing more. Just for $47.45 as a part of the 47 plan. And the phone itself, we'll get to that because that's where it gets weird. Trump Mobile is clearly a steal given that it outprices pretty much all of the standard competition. For example, T-Mobile starts at around $40 to $60 a month, Verizon at $65 a month, and AT&T goes for $50 to $66 a month. How in the world did Trump Mobile build an international cellular network seemingly overnight and manage to price everyone else out? Well, because they didn't. And once you see how it works, the price suddenly makes sense. In fact, Trump Mobile only exists digitally. There is zero infrastructure. Instead, the company takes the same route as many other smaller cell providers that target low-income communities. They simply lease service from major cell phone providers and their infrastructure. This means that they don't have the upfront cost of physical infrastructure to build and maintain, which gets passed on to the consumer like T-Mobile. It seems like a win-win, but here's what happens in the fine print. First, because Trump Mobile simply leases space on existing infrastructure, this means that when the cell tower and satellite use is high during peak hours, you're going to be the first to get bumped over full-price paying customers. This is why your friends with Boost Mobile aren't responding to your texts between 2 and 6 p.m. Give it just a few hours, they're basically on dial-up speed. And if you don't care about peak hour Instagram use, then Trump Mobile might be a good deal for you. But if you're hoping for reliable calls and fast internet speeds, while the rest of the world is streaming a hilariously disappointing Stranger Things series finale, well, forget it. And here's the part that nobody puts on the billboard. Per Trump Mobile's own terms of service, the mobile service's unlimited plans are subject to speed throttling after reaching data thresholds, which are not clearly defined. You get to find out what happens by almost paying $48 a month. It appears under the hood, Trump Mobile is running mostly on T-Mobile infrastructure, though the company has worked hard to hide the details. It's also suspected that they're using AT&T hardware and possibly other major carriers. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. This can allow smaller brands to have greater coverage or more reliable coverage by using the best infrastructure in a region. But it also puts you into competition for bandwidth with even more of the paying customers of those big brands. Again, it just comes down to when you expect to use Trump Mobile. If you don't use a cell phone much, or only during off-peak hours, it's probably a good choice for you. Since you're mostly riding in T-Mobile's backseat, how good can you expect Trump Mobile's coverage to really be? Per the FCC, T-Mobile covers nearly half the United States, or 1.9 million square miles. It services 99% of Americans, though, who don't live in Bigfoot country, with 5G covering 36% of the nation and growing by the year. When it comes to plans, well, there's only one, the 47 plan. For about $47 a month plus tax, you get one line in unlimited data until you hit 20 gigs, and then your speeds get kneecapped. Unlike the fancy rich city folk plans from T-Mobile and AT&T, Trump Mobile caps out at 480p video streaming, which will really be impressive to all your friends from 1992. You do get unlimited minutes and texts, but no international data or airplane service, which, let's be honest, you probably don't need it if you're buying Trump Mobile. The best way to compare this is to T-Mobile, given that it rides on T-Mobile's hardware for the most part. Let's look at their lowest plan, which is the closest to Trump Mobile's single plan. The Essentials plan runs you $60 a month, but you can add a second line for only $30 and get a third line for free as of the writing of this script. Trump Mobile only offers a single line. There is no option to add additional lines. Any additional lines require you to sign up for the full $47 plan. T-Mobile will also give you an auto-pay discount, something Trump Mobile doesn't offer. Another plus on T-Mobile's side is the 50 gigs of data you get every month, which unlike Trump Mobile won't get you dropped if you exceed. Instead, you get downgraded from peasant-level streaming to surf-level streaming, and you'll notice a drop in speed and quality. One advantage to Trump Mobile is that T-Mobile doesn't offer international calling even in limited capacity for its Essentials plan. While Trump Mobile typically offers restricted minutes of calling, T-Mobile charges a flat 25-cent fee per minute. But if you're buying either plan, you probably don't have anyone international to call. unless you are on Trump Mobile and your farm's workforce has suddenly and unexpectedly gone international. Alright, now that we understand the service, what about the actual Trump phone itself? Meet the T1. It's time to make non-peak calling great again. The T1 is everything an American could want a phone to be. It's a phone. It has a 50-megapixel camera, cutting-edge features already developed years ago, like fingerprint and face unlock. And the best of all, it can be yours for only $100, plus another $499 later that is in the semi-fine print. Perhaps the best part of the Trump phone is that it can basically be anything you want it to be, because it doesn't exist. There hasn't been a single manufactured Trump phone to date, so when comparing it to the iPhone 17, it does have that going for it. 1 point to Trump phone for being of unlimited potential due to not existing, and another point to iPhone 17 for being a physical product that exists within our bubble of Euclidean spacetime. As a consumer, it's up to you to decide which of these matters more to you. A Buddhist on the 5 paths of seeing might argue that the formless Trump phone with its unlimited potential is worth more than any physical object with fixed traits. Once something exists, it's basically immutable, pending software updates and all. How else do they stack up? Right there on the official Trump phone website, we have the specs, sort of. But our second point of comparison is the fact that the Trump phone is, quote, proudly American, end quote. We scoured Apple's iPhone 17 page and couldn't find a single claim of it being American, proudly or otherwise. One bald-headed screaming eagle points to Trump phone. Note that the Trump phone official page does not claim that the Trump phone is made in America. Rather, it is, quote, proudly American and, quote, American proud design, which we checked with various technology experts and no one could tell us what that meant. The T1, as it's called, is, quote, designed with American values in mind, end quote. Yet, no matter where you look on the website, does it say the phone is or will be manufactured in America? And all of that wording isn't just bad repetitive copy, it's on purpose because the vast majority of phones are not manufactured in America. The US lost its cell phone manufacturing base back in the 90s and never got it back. While some phones are made in the USA, no modern cell phone with the features the T1 promises could possibly be made in America at the price point being quoted. It is simply not economically viable for an enterprise that is hoping to sell phones in the hundreds of thousands, not in the millions like the big players. However, the T1 is, quote, a bold step toward independence. Once more, we scoured Apple's product description, and we found nothing about independence. Our founding fathers did not fight the Germans on Iwo Jima to not have independence, so one lip-filler, silicone blonde news anchor point to the Trump phone. Under the hood, the T1 is supposed to run on Android, while the iPhone 17 runs on iOS 26. Which operating system is better? Well, if you check Android forums, it is obviously Android 16. And if you check the Mac forums, well, it's obviously iOS 26. Which system comes out on top? We have no idea. We don't use either operating system. We summon spirits with powerful hallucinogenics and bloodletting rituals to give them messages to deliver on our behalf, like normal people. Android has some better customization, while Apple tends to beat Android to the cultural punch by getting the best apps and features first. It is really up to your preferences, so remember, fight viciously and savagely about it in the comments. Displays are all important in modern smartphones, which is why the T1 is packing a 6.25-inch 120Hz display. Maybe, possibly, it could be an Etch-a-Sketch for all we know because, again, literally nothing is confirmed. There are zero technical details or plans officially released. The iPhone, meanwhile, features a 6.3-inch HZ ProMotion display. iPhone takes the point here for first, well, existing, and second, having a whole extra 0.05 of an inch. How the screens actually compare to each other, if the T1 specs are real, depends. Apple has proven display technology that improves every year. At half the price, a Trump phone competing with an iPhone 17 for quality is not encouraging. At its heart, a smartphone is powered by its processor, and Apple is using the A19 chip, featuring a 6-core CPU and a 5-core GPU, along with a 16-core neural engine, which we have no clue what that does because we talk to women in the real world. Do you like ray tracing? Apple has got your ray tracing built right into its pretty impressively powerful A19 chip. The Trump phone is bringing your imagination. What's powering the T1? It could be anything. It could even just be a box. There has been no processor announced, but industry experts don't believe it'll pack anything more than a mid-tier Android processor given its price point. If you're buying a discount phone, you're not getting premium performance. It's as simple as that. The Trump phone is supposed to be packing a 50-megapixel camera, which beats the iPhone 17's 48-megapixel camera. You can be 2 megapixels more annoying on Instagram with a Trump phone than you can be with an iPhone now. Except the iPhone is cheating because it's using advanced technology to actually fuse 2 cameras into one for much greater performance. The iPhone 17's cameras basically act as one, allowing the sensor to capture much more data and thus giving sharper images and greatly improved low-light performance. Behind the lenses is extremely powerful proprietary software working to glue the images together. The combination of hardware and software specs of the iPhone 17 and the fact that currently, if you have put a down payment on a Trump phone, you are recording memories on a sketchpad means the point goes to the iPhone 17. For battery, the iPhone 17 features a next-generation lithium-ion battery with an impressive life of up to 30 hours of video playback, 27 if streamed. The battery is also fast charge capable, with 50% charge in 20 minutes with a 40-watt adapter, or 30 minutes with a standard 30-watt adapter. Due to the new features, the iPhone 17 features a 17% less chance than normal over prior models of spontaneously combusting in your pocket and turning your sex organs into charcoal. Remember that when Samsung products were randomly exploding? The Trump phone's battery lasts as long as your imagination does, because it too hasn't been announced. What is claimed is a 5,000 mAh battery, which roughly translates to 25 to 28 hours of video streaming or 6 to 8 hours of playing games. When it comes to technical specs, the iPhone 17 clearly beats out the Trump phone, which is no surprise given the fact that it is just under double the price for a base model. But when it comes to physically existing, the iPhone 17 also takes the win. It's not exactly encouraging that Trump Mobile sells refurbished phones from other real manufacturers right on its website. The Trump phone was announced on June 16, 2025, and there has been no technical specs or prototypes since then. So maybe the real Trump phone was the friends and the vodka and the steaks and the mortgage companies and the meme coins and the casinos and universities and phone companies, again, that we made along the way. Now go check out the indestructible phone that destroyed its own company, or click on this video instead.